Okay, so I'm sure you're focused on revenue, but sometimes it's best to focus on time. And so average service call duration is going to determine how many calls you can run, how late your technicians are working, and how much strain your operations can absorb during peak season. And if you can control this, then sort of the rest of the business will be a little bit easier to manage. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to create all these metrics here. So the minutes, the total completed minutes, the total completed jobs, the total completed part ordered minutes, and the total completed part ordered jobs. And then we can get an average duration. Then we can set a target min, target max, and then from there we can create this line chart. And of course, like this is a little bit simplistic because you're going to need to break out, the service type, because obviously some are going to take longer than others. But just to give you an idea of how to model this, this is sort of a good starting point. And so, okay, what we need to do is we need to look in the data here. And then if you want this data set, just let me know. There's a download link in the file, there's a download link in the description. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to get a month. We need to get a list of the month. And we're going to do that from column D, which is the call date. So we already have it here, but I'm going to show you how to do it again. So use the text function. So equals text, go all the way over. Where are you? To call date, comma, and then 4 ends, and that's going to give you the month. The text function is very powerful. Like if you try to clean up data a lot or do a lot of analysis and you're not sort of well versed with the text function, like definitely look into it, because it, like, let me give you another example. It's not just month. Like this is just one very, very small thing you could do. If you wanted to see the day of the week, right, that would also give you the day of the week. If you wanted to format it a certain way, if you wanted to extrapolate so many different values from a single cell, you could do that. But anyways, so this is the month here. And so let's go into the starting point tab here and then just type in the word month and then type it in January and then just drag this down. November, December. Okay, so the next thing is we need to calculate all of these here. The other three here are we can do from the data. Well, the two on the far right, you just do on your own, but the average duration we calculate from these 4 columns to the left of it. So I'm just going to copy that and then I'll paste it here. And then I'll just make this wider. Okay, so the completed minutes is going to be, oh, here, we have to do one more thing math-wise. So we need to calculate total service minutes. And so total service minutes is going to be the work end time minus the work start time. But the problem you'll notice, like right off the top, is if you do equals this minus this, you're going to get 0.074. And so what you need to do with that is you need to multiply it by, yeah, so I was just double checking the numbers. So you need to multiply it times 24 times 60. And so the reasoning for that is because what this is showing you is 0.074. It's 0.074, it's 7.4% of a day. So we need to multiply it times the number of minutes in a day to convert it to minutes. So it's 24 hours in a day, and there's 60 minutes in an hour. And so you get 107 minutes. And yeah, the thing, I paused a second ago because I was making sure it coincided with this. So if you were to divide this by 60, you get this number here. But we want minutes. And so that's what this formula here is. And so you see the formula here is 1440, but 1440 is just 24 divided by 60. Okay, now we can go to the actual formula. So we want to SUMIFS. So we want to sum the completed minutes if the month is January. And so there's 2 criteria we need here. So we want the sum of this, comma, but we also need the outcome to be completed. So just highlight column Z and then comma, and then type in the word completed and make sure to use quotations. And then the final argument is the month, comma, and then January. So we have 6392. Let's just see, make sure this is working. Yep, 6392. Okay, let me center everything. I'm gonna make this a minute or like the thousand separator. Okay, so we have that. So the next thing we need to do is do the same thing, but we're just gonna take out the minutes. So now we want to count the rows. So how many rows essentially have the word completed for the month of January? Because if this is completed, it's a job complete, right? So we want to go here and we want to do COUNTIFS. So before it was SUMIFS, like sum this. Now we just want to do COUNTIFS, count if, right? Count the number of times the word completed shows up for the month of January, the month of February, and so on. So super straightforward. Once you work on these functions a little bit, you're gonna get the hang of it. And then once you get the hang of it, it's like it'll sort of open up a lot of analysis, especially with your exports from ServiceTitan and QuickBooks, whatever it is you're exporting your data from, because a lot of those third-party softwares are amazing, but they don't give you everything you need. They'll give you sort of some cookie cutter KPIs or templates and stuff like that. But if you want full control over your data and be able to make decisions that are accurate, that you're making from accurate data, then being able to do it yourself is definitely more valuable. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is the same exact thing, but now we want completed part ordered, right? So what I'm going to do, just to show you that it's like literally the exact same thing, other than completed, and then here, comma, what is it, dash part ordered. Yep. So just type that in, and then same thing here, just change the word completed to completed dash part ordered. Completed dash part ordered. Okay, copy that down. And then so now the average duration is going to be the sum of these two divided by the number of jobs, right? The sum of these two. So equals, and you can't just do equals this plus this divided by this plus this. And it's like, and the reason is because if you remember order of operations, right? So Excel is dividing this first, and then it's adding those numbers. Like it's adding the completed minutes, and then it's adding on the right side the completed jobs, part order jobs. So you need to put it in parentheses. And then once you do this, then you have a duration here. So this is your average job duration that we get here. And so now you might just have a target minimum and a target maximum. So I'll just do 60 and 75, but then I'll do equals this all the way here, paste, copy, paste. And the reason is because then you can make it more dynamic. Okay, so now we want a chart that's going to show, we can just remove all the decimals. That's going to show the line chart with an upper and a lower bound. And the line will be sort of in the middle, or if it's outside, then you sort of know. So highlight the month, hold down control, and then highlight these three, go to insert, and then you could do recommended charts, but it's going to be the same thing. Like it's going to be the same as if you click the line chart. So the first thing I'll do is I'll lower the bound. So you can see the bound here is 50. So I'll lower the lower bound. So just double click here, and then right here, you can change it to 50. So we got that. Let's make it black. Then we can do, average service. I can't type. Duration by month. And then what I'll do is I'll just make this font just a little bit smaller. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'll add the values to this. I'll click the blue line, click the crosshair, data labels, and then I'll click the green line, and then I'll go here. It's going to pull up, but click the little paint bucket, and let's make this, we can make it the first gray. That's fine. And then let's make it a lot thinner. Let's make it 1.25, and we can do the second dash type. And then the same thing here. We could do the first gray, 1.25, and then the second dash type. Okay, and so just like that, you can see, if you like what months are you in the upper bound, what months are you in the lower bound. And the reason I made this dynamic is because say you wanted the minimum or the maximum to be, 65. You see how you can automatically change that. And so you can do a little bit of a sensitivity analysis that way. Okay, so that's been 10.5 minutes. So I have to do this one pretty fast, so bear with me. So the next thing is we want to get the unique list of the technician name and a unique list of the system type. System type, or it looks like a call type. Yeah, call type. Yeah. Okay. So to get the unique list of a technician's name, let me just put this down here. And so bear with me, I'm going to go a little bit faster. I try to keep these videos under 15 minutes. So use the unique function, go to data, click tech name, hold down Control, Shift, and the down arrow, and then press enter. And then just like that, you have everybody's name. You can press Control C, Control Shift V to remove the formula. And then the next thing is we need a unique list of column G, which is the call type. So again, go to cell G1, Control Shift down arrow, and now you have all of these. Control Shift, Control C, Control Shift V. And now what you can do is you want to copy it here, and then here, right next to the word tech name, right click and then ST. And now you've transposed the values across. Okay, so we want to do an average if S, so the same thing, we want to find the average of this, but instead of month, we want to do it based off of tech name and the call type. And I already have the formula, and so what I'll show you is this is the formula. And the reason why I'm not going to type it out because it's super long, but essentially you're going to sum where the completed jobs, right, the time of the completed jobs plus the time of the completed part order jobs, right, and divide that by the count of the completed jobs plus the count of the ordered jobs, the parts ordered jobs. And so you can just pause the video and see the formula here just to get an idea of what it's saying, but you're getting this number here. And so it's just essentially, it's adding this and this in the same formula, and then it's dividing it by this plus this. And so you can see it essentially right here is where the division is. But again, if you want this file, just let me know, or just there's a link in the description. Okay, I'm going to copy it here. I'm going to paste it here, and then we have everything we need. And so now what this is going to allow you to do is become a little bit more granular. And so say from here you wanted, a target max. I'll just copy this and then I'll paste it here. Of 65. So you can just type in the number 65, and then you can highlight this and then go to Home, Conditional Formatting, highlight cell rules, and you could do greater than and then choose this and then OK. Right, and so anything that's greater than this will turn red. Okay, I know in that last part I went a little bit fast, but if you download the file, this formula can make a little bit more sense. But I'll walk through it for 20 seconds. But this right here is taking the sum of all the minutes of the completed jobs, and this is taking the sum of all the minutes of the completed part ordered jobs. So it's summing this number where this says completed or completed parts ordered. And then it's dividing by the count of completed or completed parts ordered. But anyways, that's all I have for this one. That's how you can create these two charts. It's going to be quite useful. But if you have any questions, just shoot me an email, questions@databoards.io. And if you can't figure out how to organize your data into a usable format from your CSV exports, then again, just shoot me an email, or there's a link in the description. You can, set up a time to chat. But anyways, that's all I got for this one, and I'll see you in future videos.